Hello and welcome back. I'm your host Arjun Vishwanathan. And to take our discussions and fascinating conversations around cyber resilience as well as resurgence forward, please put your hands together to welcome a very dear friend and industry leader in his own might, Mr. Vasudevan Subramaniam, Managing Director, NewWave. Vasu, welcome. Delighted that you're with us.
Hi, thank you so much, Arjun. Thank you for having me as a part of this program. Thank you very much.
Also, we've got a fascinating set of conversations ahead, and I'm going to directly jump into this. If the events as they have unfolded over the last 18 months are any measure, thanks to the pandemic-led disruption of sorts that industry has been challenged with, has been faced with, I think one of the learnings and one of the experiences that has come forward as industry looks towards the future is the whole concept of resurgence and acceleration of value and building resilience at the very fabric of the enterprise. And when you kind of boil all of this down into one single term, Vasu, the whole concept seems to emerge of one that is business modernization. As a managing director at NewWave, how do you see this entire business modernization piece evolving, and what, according to you, are foundational and critical pillars that industry and organizations must orchestrate in order to drive sustainable and successful business modernization forward? Vasu.
Yeah, so thank you, Arjun, for this question. So we at NewWave, we are focusing on three key solutions for our customers jointly with Dell Tech. One is workplace transformation or modernization. Two is IT modernization, and third one is the security modernization. So these are three key areas of focus, and these are also among the key priorities for CIOs today. So look at workplace transformation. This is one of the area that has transformed significantly over the last 2 years. I mean, for the right reasons, right? So employees had to work from anywhere, anytime, and from any device, right? So today companies are forced to give the employees the choice of devices they use in order to access applications and data from anywhere and any place, anytime.
Indeed.
With this decentralization, or rather you call it as a distributed workforce that they are managing today, there are a lot of huge challenges the IT organization is facing, Arjun. See, they need to, IT has to consider balancing freedom versus productivity of users in the new setup that they've gotten themselves into. So some of the challenges for IT, managing end-to-end life cycle of systems has become more complex now in the new setup. Look at managing diverse portfolio of hardware now. Different vendors, different devices, different operating environments. Today, customers have Windows, Apple Macs, so different operating environments. They have to manage all of these. Also they need efficient management tools, to do a wonderful job. They're looking at customers want self-service, and they're looking at automating deployments. And more importantly, you have to be proactive in providing support for all the end users. So this has put a lot of high workload on the IT organization.
Indeed.
So they end up wasting a lot of time sometimes, and which leads to very low productivity for the IT organization. So they're now looking for solutions to streamline how they can build, access, create, manage all these systems and data and applications in a more simpler manner and a more secure manner. That's what they want to do. So our solutions with Dell Tech will completely simplify things for them, and it will also bring down cost, complexity, and carbon for customers, which is very, very key right now, right?
True.
That's as far as the workplace transformation is concerned. Let's take a look at IT modernization.
Indeed.
We see a lot of customers wanting to shift from current legacy IT infrastructure into a hybrid cloud infrastructure. That's what everybody wants to do. So they're going into this new infrastructure because they want to build a future-ready foundation for their organization that can run modern applications and virtual workloads. That's what they want to do. The outcomes they're looking for are two things, Arjun. One is they want to build an agile and a resilient IT infrastructure. And second is they also want to build a sustainable and a cost-efficient IT operating model. Because you see, the operating models are also going through a lot of transformation today, right? So the larger the larger goal of IT essentially is to operate IT at the speed of business. That's what they want to achieve. So NewWave works on three important principles, Arjun. Modernize IT for customers, help them automate it, and then transform it. But finally, the goal is simple. Build a self-driving, cloud-ready data center for customers. That's what we want to do on IT modernization. Then the last aspect is the security modernization. So the price that customers will have to pay for an unsecured IT infrastructure in today's context is very, very costly, Arjun. So we provide solutions that helps customers protect data and applications residing across the edge, the core, and the cloud. Because data is sitting across the edge, core, and the cloud, and customers are looking for securing it across these three locations. We also help customers, get a control and protection of their network. Essentially, customers are looking at to manage the entire network through a single pane of glass. They want to do that. We help customers do that. And lastly, the topic of today, cyber recovery solution, which is today's topic. We help customers protect sensitive data, from attacks. So that's broadly what NewWave does jointly with Dell Tech in addressing, workplace transformation, ID transformation, and security modernization. That's what we do, Arjun.
It's interesting that you brought out CRS or the cyber recovery solutions, because like you rightly said, with the explosion of data, cyber recovery assumes far, far more significance than ever traditionally imagined. If you could quickly let us know the orientation of the focus towards the future as far as CRS is concerned and your partnership with Dell Technologies.
Yeah, absolutely. So we heard a lot today, but see, organizations impacted by ransomware globally has doubled this year. When compared to last year, it's gone, almost double. We're looking at approximately, to put it in perspective, about 1,000 organizations being infected every week globally, Arjun. So organizations in Asia Pacific and more specifically in India are being targeted more than any other regions. What I hear is about 250 out of these 1,000 attacks are actually happening in India. So some of the target verticals include healthcare, insurance, IT, and manufacturing. These are the, on top of the list. So therefore, we see organizations wanting to prepare themselves against all kinds of incidents and attacks, right? So you see the goal of the bad guys is to get a ransom. And they get it only when you do not have a clean copy to recover from, Arjun, right?
Yeah.
So for this reason, the backup systems and data are under direct attack these days. They're going after your backup. Unfortunately, there are many vulnerable points when it comes to backup systems. The reason is because backups were always built for accessibility. They were not built for security. If you look at the fundamentals of backup, right? Yes. So backup systems often contain data catalogs. So if you encrypt or delete these data catalogs, it will become impossible for customers to recover. So while we continue to do everything to prevent the bad guys from entering our enterprise, our goal must be to bring your business back swiftly. Because the goal is what? You want to get your business back swiftly and securely, even when you're attacked. So for this to happen, you need an unaffected, clean copy of data and application. So you need that with you. So therefore, the challenge now is, how can an organization ensure that unaffected, clean data and applications are made available to them when they're attacked? Indeed. So this is what makes for a compelling reason to look at Dell's cyber recovery solution, Arjun. So as you saw in the presentation today, Dell Technologies has just added a layer of protection. We call it making your enterprise cyber resilient. So this is just another topping to your already existing business continuity or disaster recovery strategies that customers already have. So this solution will not only restore your business capabilities back when attacked, but more importantly, will restore the trust of your stakeholders and customers.
Absolutely.
Right? That's so important. So to summarize what you heard in the presentation, the solutions from Dell Technologies revolves around 4 simple steps. The first thing is isolate your data into a cyber recovery vault. There's a cyber vault, a vault that provides physical isolation from production data centers. So that it creates an air gap. We heard that. So this makes the data completely invisible to the cyber attack. He can't even see it, right? That's first. Second is make it immutable, with many levers of controls. And third is to apply analytics on this data. So you use tools that would scan, analyze, and report for over 200 threat vectors, right? That's going to actually then with those analytics data that you capture, you can then remediate. If you see any infected files, it allows you to remediate in order to build a very clean backup set that you want for your organization. So when the above solution is implemented, you can respond, recover, and resume normal operations swiftly, even when you're attacked.
Even when you're attacked. No, I couldn't agree more with what you're saying, Vasu, but I do have a view on the clock, and I know you've got a hard schedule ahead. But I've got a quick minute where I'm very curious. NewWave has been around for such a long time, and your own journey has evolved over the years. As you move into a new emergent Indian industry, organizations of different sizes, all racing to compete and accelerate value, how are you at NewWave orchestrating differentiation in your achievement of customer experience?
Absolutely. So thank you for asking that question. So we work very hard at exactly knowing what our customers are really looking for, and then we put all our efforts into providing what they want. We have come to learn that there are 3 touch points where we try to deliver a good experience for our customers. One is the exploration and the evaluation phase. So this is typically a pre-sales phase. In this phase, our goal is to work with the client to build the right solution. And the second phase is the execution phase. So this is when the fulfillment happens and the implementation actually happens. And here we focus on successful execution and make a happy customer, right? We want to make sure the project gets implemented and deployed successfully. And the third is the optimization and the continuous transformation phase. So here our role is to be increasingly seen as a very strategic IT partner. So we look at 3 stages of touch points, and we want to make a difference in all of these 3 areas. So as far as the building the right solution for the customer is concerned, we first identify a specific IT transformation area for customer. And thereafter, what we do is we start initiating a lot of workshops with them where we evangelize those technologies. And then we do an assessment of the IT environment by using a few tools and some Q&A conversations with the customer. So by doing so, what happens, Arjun, is we gain a lot of insights into customers' environment.
Indeed,
so this insights helps us build a right solution for the customer and also build a strong business case for them.
Yeah,
so
I think
based on the merits of this proposal, we then move on to what we call as a show and tell stage, which is now running a POC. A lot of customers want to see what they're going to buy sometimes because they want to eliminate some of the key concerns that they have on the overall solution. So we run POCs, and finally what we do is we project manage the rollout, working jointly with the customers. That's as far as the solutioning phase is concerned. Second, I talked about execution phase, Arjun. Here we will work. We work well in order to be predictable. So the whole key in fulfillment and execution is being predictable and swift. Being swift and predictable in fulfillments and in driving IT services for our customers. We need to be very predictable. Second is we work towards bringing the right skill set because technologies, we integrate a lot of technology. So we need to bring right skill sets. We need to project manage. We need to know project management methodologies and also bring in a lot of client insights into every project because every project is unique.
Unique
so we
in
have
its
to
own
bring
nature.
Client insights and finally deliver on outcomes expected by the customers because what they want and what you think a project is completed is very different. So it's important to know what client's outcome is and you deliver on that outcome. That is as far as execution is concerned. And what do you do after that? For increasing our role in becoming an IT partner, that's the aspiration. So for that, what we do, continuously engage, continuous engagement and delivering, like I said, predictable experience with customer across sales, pre-sales, and post-sales. Because what happens is you continuously have sales teams interacting, pre-sales teams interacting, and post-sales teams interacting. So the continuous engagement is very key. So throughout these interactions, we expand our engagement and end up doing 3 things. One is identifying unrecognized problems for customers within their environment. Second, we provide unanticipated solutions to some of the existing problems they're having, Arjun. And lastly, we can also sometimes create unseen opportunities for customer by
Absolutely.
working very closely with them.
Perhaps if
That's how we approach it. Yeah.
perhaps if I were to boil it down, the truest definition of partners in progress. But Vasu, that unfortunately is all that we have time for. It has been delightful speaking with you. Thank you so very much.
Likewise, Arjun, it's always wonderful talking to you, and thank you for this opportunity once again.
Thank you. That, ladies and gentlemen, was I, Arjun Vishwanathan, your host, in conversation with Vasudevan Subramaniam from NewWave. Stay tuned with us, and we'll be back with the next segment in just a moment.